Hello everyone who just wants to upgrade from just 1-bit, or rather 1/8-bit, to a whole ass 9-bit. I am Border, also known as BorderRRR, and welcome to an RTS commentary. Been a while since we've done one of these, or so it's felt. Actually, it hasn't. No, yes it has. I'm confused. Anyway, we're doing 9-bit armies today. And what you're going to witness here is me being a filthy casual. You'll notice the AI is set to just casual difficulty, because I tried recording the footage for this on just 1v1 me against a normal AI, and that thing kicked my ass. So, to start off with, I'm starting to wonder that I don't think I'm very good at RTS. And that's okay, there's more important things in life to be good at. But it makes me wonder about, like, RTS in general and why it's not a dying genre per se. 9-bit armies is pretty new, honestly. But I am wondering, like, who is this for? I have a sneaking suspicion that most people who play RTS today are the ones who played RTS back in the day, because there's always a bit of kind of nostalgia, I feel, for, like, in RTS. It's like, it's hard to develop new things for it. There are new things developed in this game, though, or new-ish, rather. But it's like, the whole premise of 8-bit armies back in the day is basically like knockoff Command and Conquer, but kind of decent. Personally, I think that, like, it lacks a lot of soul, and 9-bit armies is no different. They added naval units, whoop-de-doo. We'll rant more about that later, but, yeah, so it's like, the whole premise was like, it's Command and Conquer some more. Remember Command and Conquer? Remember that game you loved way back in the day? And it was so good, and then EA did nothing good with the franchise after a while, and are just kind of sitting on it. And Petroglyph is very much, I think they're really keyed into that. I forget what other games they've done, but they've done a few. And they were, I think back in the day, they've done a lot of RTS games. It's like their favorite thing. I think it's just a bunch of RTS nuts over there. And, I think that's one of the examples of why, when you make a game, you can't have people work on it who are just fans of the genre, and you need at least one guy who doesn't know anything about RTS and needs to, I don't know, you play test with them to make sure you actually dumb it down a little bit for the people who are just getting into it. This game is marketed as, you know, for people who are like, you can just get into RTS and stuff like that, but I'm not so sure about that. The actual gameplay itself is pretty straightforward. It's like, you know, just clicky, clicky, and like pointy, pointy, move your dudes around, so to speak. But, like, it's the speed. Like, I'm, well, frankly, not as young as I used to be. Like, I don't have the, and I don't know. This game, like, in my disastrous attempt to try and beat AI on normal difficulty, yes, I am sore about that, just a little bit, embarrassed, I got the feeling that, like, here's the thing, the actual gameplay is pretty straightforward. It's like, you build up, you build up, get resources, rock, paper, scissors with the units, but the pace is just so fast. The pace is, like, really, really quick. Like, the standard AI does things, like, really, like, incredibly fast, or at least it feels like it. In comparison, the casual AI is, like, ridiculously slow. Also, I did go back and play 8-bit armies afterward, just to get a sense of the difference between these two games, and I've just noticed that 9-bit armies, I think, is more zoomed out, which is actually an improvement. I think here's the deal. If you liked 8-bit armies, you will like this, and you will possibly like it more. If you did not like 8-bit armies, you're not going to like this at all. And now that I'm thinking of it, I'm comparing this particular game to Command & Conquer 3, which is one of my favorite Command & Conquers, actually. Just in terms of, like, the setting is interesting, it's pretty, the graphics have aged remarkably well, honestly. But there's a thing with that, is like, in Command & Conquer 3 you can build cranes, which adds, like, an additional build queue. And I really need that for that, and, like, honestly, more than one build queue would, like, help this game like be very helpful, because yeah, I know it's simpler that, like, you know, things get trained twice as fast the more things you do, but I don't actually like that much. I prefer to have, like, it means that you're calculating for time gets thrown off, or at least I guess it doesn't. I don't know. I'm literally just playing a team match with casual AI because I'm a filthy casual, and I don't know how to feel about that. See, I just ran out of power. If I wasn't a filthy casual, I wouldn't have done that. Actually, wait, like, seeing what you were doing there with the power bar, that is one thing I absolutely love about this game, and I think is awesome, is like, what would you call it? Compound buildings, I guess? Like, you build 4 or 5 things, like, together, or like, I think it's just 4, actually. Like, you build them close together, and like, yeah, like that. See that ghost image right there? And with the turrets as well. It's like, yes! I love that. Like, you build a bunch of turret things in the same place, and it's like, it makes a one big version of that. I love that. It's such a simple idea, and I think it's really cool. And that's basically all I end up doing in this particular match. I just wanted to make big turrets. Because my style of playing RTS is firstly filthy casual, but also defensive. I like to bunker up, and I like to let the enemy like smash themselves on me, which kind of works, kind of doesn't. Like in this game, because this game is like all about, like, you know, moving really fast. You know, you gotta bum rush with everything.
Power plant complete.
Oh, I just want to make stuff like that. And also, I don't know, it's possibly like giving myself a break. I think this this game we're watching now is only like the 4th skirmish match I've done. So I think I was still learning the ways of the game, so to speak, and like learning what does what your build order is. If you don't know what your build order is, you're screwed. Like, what can you do? Also, I accidentally had a stroke of genius here with building that giant thing right there, and I was like, oh, hell yes, let's do that. I'm just a defensively minded player. I just like building things defensively, and like, unfortunately, RTS in general, like, particularly the more recent ones, and by recent I mean stuff made within the last 15 years, so I guess half of the lifespan of RTS on this planet is not geared towards, like, playing defensively, because that means matches are very long. And, yeah, I'm just gonna go nuts with sniper. I just want to put snipers in bunkers. Is that so wrong?
Radar complete.
Clearly it's wrong. This is one point in which I would really frickin' love to just have multiple build queues. Be really nice. It is nice to have a big gun like that. It is very nice. Very nice, very nice. Click, click, click. I am glad to say that I figured out how bunkers work. That is an improvement here, although I do have to say it is a little bit weird that bunkers require, like, power, which is like, huh? Isn't the whole point of a bunker, like, I mean, I guess ventilation systems or something, but isn't the whole point of a bunker is that dudes sit in it and shoot, and the damn thing doesn't really need electricity? Am I crazy? Am I crazy for thinking that? But yeah, so we're just trundling along here, and oh hey, we're shooting the harvester. And I bet you dollars to donuts that if it was set on just one difficulty higher, they would have already attacked me and, like, ruined my life. Look at the radar, look at the radar, look at the radar. Look at this radar. Also, by the way, we're playing, what is it? Guardians and Renegades, and that's one of my big critiques about the whole 8-bit, 9-bit, the bit RTS franchises, that the factions are just so clearly like, not knockoffs, so to speak. That's rude, perhaps. It kind of is. It's like 8-bit version of stuff. But it's so clearly, like, supposed to be, like, equivalents of stuff. Like, the Guardians are mostly an equivalent of the Brotherhood or not, because they're, like, I guess kind of sneaky and underhanded, and that's kind of why I like them, so to speak. They've got the flame tank and everything. And the Renegades are like GDI. Or kind of, sort of. Like, except Renegades are the ones with the nukes, and these, and, like, the Guardians are the ones with the particle cannon, so go figure. So yeah, it's like, I don't know. playing this made me want to go back and play Command & Conquer 3 some more, if only because the standard AI of that game wasn't quite so ridiculous, and, like, it didn't feel... I don't know. Maybe I'm just out of practice with RTS in general, and playing too much Mechabellum, in which, like, there's no micro at all, which is awesome. This kind of fits into, like, I'm looking at this and thinking, like...
Cannon turret complete.
Maybe, like, things would be better if, like... I'm always a fan of games being, like, you know, simple but with depth. And I guess this fits, except... because instead of, like, it having, like, complicated stuff to deal with it, I guess radars are kind of complicated. Maybe I'm just dumb.
Complete.
But that means is the challenge, if you want to make it challenging, all you can really do is speed it up.
Constructing.
Which I'm not sure is the way to go, really. Let's talk more about this. Like, the actual match itself here, there's not much to say. All I wanted to do was spam heavy drones and stealth bombers, because I'm dumb like that.
Complete.
It's also, like, I don't know, like, I'm thinking back on, like...
Constructing.
I'm thinking back on, like, Command & Conquer 3 and other CNC games I've made. Arguably, they are balanced worse than this game. This game is very clear rock, paper, scissors. But at the same time, I really liked spamming units which had more than one job. Meanwhile, this one... Actually saying that, I just remember the slingshot from Command & Conquer 3 Kane's Wrath. Whee! And now we're just shelling things from over there. Are you gonna remember to move your artillery over? I don't even know. It is kind of groovy, actually. That is one thing I really like about this game over Command & Conquer, is that the radar is kind of like... What game does this? I think it's like Supreme Annihilation, or what's it called again? Supreme Commander... Total Annihilation, my bad. That has radar function like the way it does in this game, which it just kind of gives you a little preview outline type thing.
Ally under attack.
Whee! Bang. And what delightful graphics. I don't know, it's also the art style doesn't appeal to me that much, I do have to say. It's not bad, it's just not ideal.
Bunker complete.
Helicopter! Kablooey! Whee! Now some actual fights are happening over here, who would have thunk? I honestly wonder why the AI wasn't more aggressive during this, aside from it being on the lowest difficulty. Also, fun fact, I went back and played like 8-bit Invaders, which is 8-bit Armies, but like knocking off StarCraft instead of Command & Conquer, or more StarCraft rather than Command & Conquer. And the difference in difficulty between playing as playing against one side rather than the other, even on the lowest difficulty, is quite noticeable. It's like I had way more trouble fighting the Space Marines than I did fighting the aliens. I'm like, am I missing something here? Also, I don't know, this game supposedly has veterancy, but I gotta be real, I didn't notice. I really did not notice. Wee kablooey. Hooray! Work, 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 work. Actually, maybe I'll have an easier time playing against standard AI if I turn super weapons off, because the super weapons in this game are just kind of annoying. Like, you build up your army, and the AI knows exactly where your stuff is, possibly because of radar, or also possibly because of AI cheating. Whee! Helicopter. Maybe I should give the Renegades another go. Simply because it's like, I don't know, maybe I'll have fun with their attack helicopters. Or just their helicopters. I was trying to say earlier that, like, I really hate units that, like, only have one job, as in, like, can do one thing and one thing only, and those little suicide drones that, the Guardians have, not a fan. Whee! I almost think this game would be more fun. I wonder if people are modding this. It would be nice to see a graphics mod that makes it look more like classic CNC and less 8-bit and more
Constructing.
older bits, so to speak.
Reporting. Location confirmed. Copy
Whoopsie daisy.
Orders.
Whoopsie daisy indeed. Also, like, the infantry just kind of threw me, and like, it has a little bit of resemblance to Mideast Crisis in that the snipers are anti-air units as well, and it's like, that absolutely threw me for a loop. Also, that was my own alert. Jeez.
Standing by.
It's fun to shoot things. I actually remember that, like, in 8-bit Armies, like, I just was really fond of artillery. I do have to say, this game is, like, I do begrudgingly admit that, like, you do have to, like, build every unit at some point in the match, which makes sense. Also, harvesters are very tough. Alright, another complaint. The whole harvester thing. Honestly, I think RTS would be better if we threw the whole harvester thing out the window. I do think it is a good thing, though, that, like, oh no, I can't build the thing. Can't build the thing. And then I sell... I think there's a point I sell one of those turrets and then just build another one right in the same place as it, so... Bravo me, that's really clever. I do like this map, though. You'll notice this is not a naval map at all. That's on purpose. I think there's a reason why most RTS games don't have land and naval combat. And I have a theory about that. The theory is not incredible, it's just like... It's because it just don't mesh and brain well. Right, it was not strictly speaking essential that I do this.
Structure sold.
Yep, and I built that exactly where it was before.
Constructing.
Well done. This is why I'm a filthy casual. I just want to be... Look at me trying to be sneaky, sneaking around, shooting harvesters in the face. And then running away. Beep, beep, beep.
Cannon turret complete.
I wonder if they're gonna do the thing, they're gonna have, like, they had 8-bit armies, 8-bit hordes, 8-bit invaders. Are they now gonna have, like, was it 9-bit, 9-bit hordes, 9-bit invaders, stuff like that? Because, honestly, I can respect that business model. I can respect that being, like... I can respect it being like, yep, we are gonna make the same game over and over again, just slightly better each time. And it's gonna be really good. We're gonna have a good time. And like, you know what? I respect that, because making video games is very hard work. But at the same time, I'm like... I don't know. I don't know. Nice to have a nice clear to-do list, I suppose. And that's the Infiltrator. I literally never ever have used that so far, so maybe I don't know. I'll give this game more of a go. I was planning on just leaving it after this, but the way that blew up made me happy, so...
Low power.
I don't understand why bunkers require power. Is it just to keep the lights on in there, literally? Why is my allied harvester doing this? It's so weird. It's so weird.
Power
Ah,
plant
dear.
complete.
Look at them tanks go. And I just love stealth bombers just because they flatten buildings so quickly. It's amazing. Whee! Oh yeah. I don't get to favorably compare CNC to this because, like... Oh wait, no, I already mentioned this slingshot. I'm trying to think of Command & Conquer Generals. Is there anything in there... I like every unit to have more than one job, so to speak, and I guess this kinda does that. But, yeah, hyper-specialized units are, like, not fun in RTS. It's just like, okay.
Complete.
Also, that is a battleship-grade gun, and it's shooting helicopters out of the sky.
Drone center complete.
Also, the napalm bomber for, like, the renegades. That is just... Would it kill you to make that circle, guys? Would it kill you? It would? Okay, I won't bother you anymore. And I have the nice particle cannon thing. Gonna make a lot of these.
Ready for assignment. Moving.
Was I not listening, or did it say ready for violence?
Modeling up. Now you see me. I'll get there.
Oh yeah, I was mentioning naval combat. This commentary is all over the place. It's just having to remember to, like, that is actually fits into it. Is like, with naval combat, you've got a thing that's limited in where it can go. And so if you dump all your points into naval combat, like, great. I guess you could say that's part of the strategy, is like knowing what to invest in and knowing what not to. But, like, at the same time, I'm like, can we simplify things, please? My brain is tiny. Filthy casual, my brain is tiny. That is a very pretty effect, though. That's a whole 9 bits right there. Damn. Okay, then. More power plants.
Constructing.
What's the target?
And this is the point where we actually start doing things.
Moving.
Heavy drone. Wait, did it say it has both rockets and machine guns? Because I've only seen the rockets so far.
Power plant complete.
Also, the fact that all infantry units can detect stealth is an interesting choice.
They'll never see me coming. Modeling up.
Kablooey!
Now you see me.
Also, the fact that when you tell them to attack, they decloak. I'm not a fan of that. Not a fan of that at all. Not a fan. I'm not a Dyson about that. Not a Dyson fan. Get it? It's a joke. Alright then, what else can we say about 9-bit armies? The fact that there's only 2 factions? I don't know. I'm just looking at the units roster again thinking, like, how am I supposed to remember which one's which? Like, I was actually getting confused with, like, the Harvester and the Forward Outpost thing, which I think is new. I don't think 8-bit armies had that. Which I guess fits into, like 9-bit armies. I think even emphasizing even more just an aggressive playstyle is just, you gotta get out there, you gotta do stuff. Which, to be fair, I have done in this match, because I moved early and secured a resource zone. You're about to lose a bomber because they're made of paper. Maybe don't do that. Honestly, I'd say, like, problem with this is, like, both of these factions play in a very similar way. It's just, you know, various units are more annoying to use than the other. Or again, maybe I'm... Do let me know if I'm full of nonsense. Do let me know if you've understood anything I've said here. Ah yes, big turret.
Constructing.
Sniper, sniper.
Power plant
Snipers
complete.
are fun. Snipers are fun. Snipers are fun.
Stealth bomber ready.
Yeah.
Cannon
I think I'm
turret
gonna keep playing on
complete.
casual, honestly, because ye gods. Ye gods! This was actually fun. Filthy casual, filthy casual. I identify as casual. Yay, harvesters! Actually, I seem to recall playing... Just going for the harvesters might actually be a very good idea. Just, like, go for them often, go for them early. At least on casual, because it looks like,
They'll never see me coming.
did they run out of materials?
I'll get there.
I think that's part of the idea, is that, like,
Moving.
the Guardians don't really have any aircraft which are super good against infantry, and those stealth bombers don't count, because they have to sit directly on top of it.
Now you see me. Bombs away.
I hate that. I hate how they de-stealth when you hit the attack button,
I'll get there.
which means that you have to do extra micro. I don't care for that one bit. Am I just in the mood to complain? Is this game actually amazing and I'm just bad at it? I can't wrap my brain around it? Possibly. It's entirely possible. Now I have big artillery doing big artillery things. Hooray! Also interesting that the infantry have more health than other stuff.
Moving.
then like infantry has more health than scout cars.
Throttling up.
Which I guess makes sense. If the car's completely unarmored, it takes about as much bullets as an infantryman, I guess. Are you gonna move it around there? Yes, you are. Yay!
Cannon turret complete.
Man,
All instruments show
I'm just thinking of the like Command and Conquer General's particle cannon.
Constructing.
Hang on, if it's a particle cannon, how does it reflect?
engines primed.
How does it reflect off an orbiting mirror? Yay, stealth bombers.
Moving.
And that right there is like, I mean, I guess they solved an issue of like,
Power plant
do we
complete.
need to reload the thing? No.
Power ready. Ready check. Throttling up. Delivering the package. Now you see me. They'll never see me
And the
coming.
radius on this is fantastic.
Bombs away. Death from above. All instruments show green.
I think I did indeed lose some stealth bombers there. Imagine losing any units at all on casual difficulty. Imagine that.
The target. Stealth bomber ready. I'll get there.
Tank. Just called Tank. It isn't called Steve. It isn't called Jones. It isn't called Scorpion or Scarab or anything.
Player eliminated.
All instruments
Yay! That's one taken down. See, I think this game actually might be good, simply because watching this footage back and seeing how cruisy it is, maybe I should do a match on standard. Yay! Literally all I want is aircraft. And any competent AI
Constructing.
would have killed me by now. Petroglyph, go easy on me. Petroglyph, go easy on me.
Ready to throttling up.
This
Satellite
game
upgrade.
is either hard or I am just bad.
Cannon turret complete.
I just want to build big defensive structures, you know. I want to build the Maginot Line. And yes, I know that was a terrible
I'll
idea.
get there.
But the idea feels good. Also, this AI made like nuclear missile silos and then proceeded to not use them ever. So that's interesting. I think there's a bit too much of a jump between casual and like normal or easy, I think it was.
Now you're delivering the package.
I think casual is like, you know, absolute bare minimum, and normal is like, oh, you're ready for a real fight, are you? Here we go! Man.
Engines primed.
The fact that I'm looking back on this with, like, no small amount of fondness, and really appreciating, like, how zoomed out the camera is, really do like that. Yay! Burn the harvester, burn the harvester, burn the refinery. Kablooey.
Ready to you see me. All instruments show green.
It also would be helpful if I learned to recognize what an anti-air turret is. And actually, yeah, that's what reminded me. I really like how in this game, like, the defensive structures can hit both air and ground units. Like, because, like, I forgot how annoying it is when, like, the defensive structures can, like, only do one or the other. Because, because you can only build one at a time. Like, it is nice how you have got a separate build queue for defense now. But at the same time, it's like, man, I don't want to build, like... Actually, that's this game. What am I talking about? Right, so in 8-Bit Invaders, which I actually played just after this, for the sake of comparison, I think both factions have separate, like, anti-ground and anti-air defensive structures, and that just throws me for a loop something terrible. I'm like,
Harvester
man,
under attack.
Load 'em up.
wee, things are dead. Gotta like that there's actual physics in this, and like the... I can respect that the art style of this is very much on purpose. Like, they absolutely had the means, because you look at the shadows, you look at the shading, you look at the textures, they absolutely had the means to make this look like damn near photorealistic, but they chose not to. They chose to focus on the gameplay. That alone is worthy of respect. Thank you, Petroglyph, for being like that. That's super cool of you. We kill the power plant. Let's put our power plants, like, on the edge of our territory. That's a smart idea, isn't it?
Ready for assignment.
Gablooey.
What's the target? I'll get there.
Now I just want to play Command & Conquer 3 again, though. That's the problem, is, like, with these, like, with the 8-bit and 9-bit Army games. It's like,
Engines primed.
you play it, and you're like, man, I miss Command & Conquer. And then you have the you do have the option to
All
go
instruments show green.
play Command & Conquer, you know. You have the option. They're still there, you know.
Ready for assignment.
I just like how, like, politically incorrect Command & Conquer Generals is. That added a certain thrill to the gameplay, I do have to say.
Death from above.
Wee. Bombing things is fun when it's in video games.
Engines primed.
Also, I do understand that, like, veterancy is a thing in this game. I haven't noticed. I don't know what to be looking for. Maybe I'm just silly.
Ready check. Throttling up. All instruments show green.
Wee. Bombing things is fun. Bombing things is fun. Yeah, I'm not seeing machine guns there.
Ready for assignment. Delivering the package. What's the target?
Yay, run away. Yay, run away.
Engines primed.
Yay, run away.
I can help.
I can help,
Unit
engineers. Man. That's where I'm at now. I'm thinking, like, do you remember the particle cannon in Command & Conquer Generals? Yeah, I do as well. I think I might just prefer games which are kind of broken. Is this too balanced? Is this actually trying to test me? Like, test my skills? Because I miss the days where you could just keep spamming the same unit over and over and just win.
All instruments show green.
Shows my actual RTS competence, doesn't it?
Ready for assignment. Bombs away. What's the target? Now you see.
We hit and run, hit and run, hit and run, hit and run. Is that stealth helping at all, do you think? I don't even know. An engineer go brrr.
Stealth
Dang
bomber
it.
ready.
If only mod still worked with Commander. I think, actually, hold on. I think EA, I might be misremembering, has released the source code for their Command & Conquer games. At least, yeah, all of them, basically. So now modders have a much easier time, and there's Steam Workshop support. So hopefully, people actually do that. I'm gonna actually check right now, because as you can tell, the gameplay is so damn thrilling that I need to go check mods for a different game entirely.
Delivering the package.
And Conquer Steam
Stealth bomber ready.
Workshop.
I'll get there. Engines primed.
I'm a mad lad. Command & Conquer Remastered Collection. There's 19,000 items. But also... Okay, nice. Okay, great. Can I get to it, please? Items. Right, it is mostly... What is it?
Ready check.
Can I please sort what they are? Oh, there's lots of cheats. Alright, let's see. Most popular... Most recent... is all maps, unfortunately. So...
Ready for assignment.
What's this?
Incoming.
Alright, that's a mission. Okay, gotcha. Are we winning? Yes, we're winning! We won so hard, I didn't need to look. Oops.
Mission complete.
Yay, we won! We managed to beat a AI that was barely fighting back, honestly. Aren't I proud? So yeah, 9-bit Armies. It is the game of all time. It might be too difficult for me. It might legit just be too hard for me above the most basic difficulty. So to all of you RTS nerds who actually are, like, thrilled by a challenge and, like, go all the way up to the very hardest difficulty, I salute you. You frighten me deeply. But in any case, thank you all so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this.
Constructing.
And, like, I nearly went into a whole other spiel for my other channel. Blurg! And I'll see you next time in RTS commentary, whenever the next one of that is. Suggestions are welcome. Farewell!